Hey, hi everyone. Good morning. Hi Pranam.
Hi Shraddha,
Hi, how are you?
doing great. How are you?
Awesome. Doing great as well. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining in on a Saturday morning. I hope you all are excited. So I'll just give you a quick intro about Pranav and a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. So Pranav comes with more than 6 years of experience, and he's an NISM certified professional. He's also involved in investor education through webinars and videos, and we've done a lot of videos with small case previously as well. And he is from Bangalore and is passionate about educating responsible investing for the audience. So welcome Pranav, and thank you so
Thanks
much
for
for doing
having me.
this for us today. And just a bit of housekeeping, folks. So, if you have any questions, we will be taking it towards the end of the session. So, you can put it in the Q&A box, and we'll make sure we answer all your queries. So, over to you now, Pranav.
Sure, Shraddha. Yeah.
Are you able to share
So, hi.
screen? Yeah,
Yes, I am.
perfect.
So, hi everyone. Welcome to this session titled Unlocking Your Financial Freedom Using an Asset Class Like Small Case. So, basically, this is going to be an interesting session where we are going to together take a look at how, as retail investors, all of us will be able to basically try to build a good amount of corpus for ourselves by staying invested in the markets. So this is going to be the agenda of this session. And as usual, if any of you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to post it in the chat box. More than happy to take all your questions. So meanwhile, before we proceed, a couple of things to understand is that this session is going to be focused more towards investing and trying to understand by when all of us as investors will be able to build our first crore into the markets, or when we'll be able to build our second crore, third crore, and so on. What is in it that is required from our end to do so with respect to expectations out of the market? It could be something like CAGR expectations. It could be something like the expected amount to invest in the stock markets in order to be able to build a certain corpus. What are the risks that come with it, and what are the rewards that come with it? सो यही होने वाला है दिस पर्टिकुलर सेशंस एजेंडा. ठीक है, तो नाउ let us try to proceed and understand with data, because orally, no matter how much we speak about things like about normal things which we have heard of so many times, like SIPs, it could be lump sum investment, it could be regular investments in the markets. These are just words till we are able to see data about it, right? तो इस सेशन में हम आपको पूरा डेटा दिखाने वाले हैं कि किस तरीके से ये काम करने वाला है आपके लिए. तो पहले चलते हैं एंड लेट अस जस्ट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. अगर आप लोगों को पता नहीं है कि एक स्मॉल केस प्रोडक्ट होता क्या है, तो मैं जल्दी टू जल्दी आपको एक्सप्लेन कर लेता हूं कि एक स्मॉल केस बास्केट होता क्या है. ठीक है, तो एक स्मॉल केस को आप समझ सकते हैं एज अ डायरेक्ट इक्विटी पोर्टफोलियो, जिसको हम एक आइडिया के हिसाब से क्यूरेट किया है. तो एक आइडिया बन सकता है कोई थीमेटिक इन्वेस्टमेंट, कोई स्ट्रेटेजी के साथ एक बनाया हुआ पोर्टफोलियो, और a portfolio which has been designed with a very focused objective in mind. तो all these are essentially ideas. और अगर हम एक आइडिया को उठा के उसको एक स्मॉल केस या एक डायरेक्ट इक्विटी पोर्टफोलियो बनाते हैं, तो देन it gets listed on the platform and it is called as a small case. Now let us move forward and try to understand कि फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम का मीनिंग क्या होता है. तो बहुत सारे लोग आके मार्केट में बोलते हैं कि फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम चाहिए हमको, बट बिफोर वी मूव ऑन वी नीड टू रियली अंडरस्टैंड कि फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम का मीनिंग क्या है. इज इट एक्सॉर्बिटेंट अमाउंट ऑफ मनी इन आवर अकाउंट्स so that we can live a very more than realistic expectation of life? Absolutely not. तो फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम का मतलब है four things. They make up combined together, they make up something called as financial freedom. So the first thing is to have enough investments which is already working for us. So working for money is one thing which we have to do, all of us have to do in the very beginning, and later if our investments is working for us, then we have a solid financial investment plan in place. So first component of financial freedom is that there is an amount that is already working for us. It is either giving us an interest rate, or it is growing at a certain rate, or it is at least trying to beat inflation. तो उसको बोलते हैं हम एक फाइनेंशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट. दूसरा वाला है सेकंड वन, right amount of savings. So savings is something that we will require at any point of time. So it could be any unforeseen event coming to us which is unexpected totally, जहां पे हमको पैसा पड़ जाए. So having the right amount of savings is also a very important part of financial freedom. Third one is cash on hand to afford a comfortable life, not an exorbitant amount of life, just a comfortable amount of life. So day-to-day activities के लिए, yeah, it could be going for EMIs, whatever it is. If we have the necessary cash in hand, then the third component of financial freedom gets sorted out. The fourth one is to try to decrease debt as much as possible, or have no debt at all. By debt, I mean loans. So if these four components combine and become one component in your life, can you imagine how seamless or how smooth your life could be, where there is no debt or no loans, where you have comfortable, where you have enough cash in hand for your day-to-day expenses, projected out even for the future, the right amount of savings where you do not have to worry about saving anymore because you have enough, and your investments continuously working for you. So when these four components are combined, it becomes a very potent component for all of us. And essentially, हम लोग काम क्यों करते हैं? Why do we work in a maybe 9 to 5 job, or why do we do a business? It is essentially to achieve this one goal of financial freedom. तो इस सेशन में हम बात करते हैं not about how to achieve it with a 50,000 SIP every month, a 1 crore SIP every month, and things like that. Let us be very realistic in this session. Let us try to understand that हम सब लोग retail investors हैं, और इस सेशन में हम देखेंगे कि 10,000 के साथ या 20,000 के साथ बेसिकली हम how do we build our first crore, how do we build our second crore, how do we build our third crore, एंड कितना टाइम लगने वाला है ये सब करने के लिए, और टूल्स क्या अवेलेबल है मार्केट में ये अचीव करने के लिए इन अ वेरी रियलिस्टिक फैशन. ठीक है, तो अभी पहले इसको समझने से पहले हम लोग ये समझते हैं कि हमारा गोल्स को हम सेटअप कैसे करें. हाउ डू वी डिसाइड ऑन आवर गोल्स? सो यू माइट से दैट 2 crores इज मोर देन एनफ फॉर मी टू लिव अ वेरी कंफर्टेबल लाइफ. 2 crore आज के लिए इट इज वेरी गुड, बट इन्फ्लेशन ही अभी 4.5 to 5% के आसपास है, जिसका मतलब है आज का 2 करोड़ अगर हम आगे जाके देखें 10 years from today, 20 years from today, 30 years from today, उसका वैल्यू कम होते जाएगा. तो इफ इन्फ्लेशन यानी प्राइस ऑफ गुड्स जो इंक्रीज होते जा रहे हैं हर साल, इफ इट कंटिन्यूस एट 5%, 2 करोड़ का वैल्यू जो आज का है, that will be just worth less than 1/4 30 years later. So if you are 30 years old today, for example, so when you are 60 years old, आज का 2 crores will be equivalent or less than 50 lakhs maybe when you are 30 years old. तो इसको हमको ध्यान से समझ के आगे जाना पड़ेगा. तो पहले हम लोग ये देखते हैं कि एक नॉर्मल एसआईपी करते हुए, वेरी नॉर्मल एसआईपी करते हुए हम कितना एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं मार्केट के साथ. तो पहले some conditions about the charts that I have shown you. We have considered SIP of 10,000 every month, and we have assumed that every year हम लोग 5% हमारा SIP को बढ़ाते जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि 5% इन्फ्लेशन ही होता है. इन्फ्लेशन का मतलब है if for example I am wearing a shirt, or if I'm speaking on a laptop, or if you are watching this out of your mobile phone, all these things will become expensive by approximately 5% every year. अगर इन्फ्लेशन 5% बढ़ रहा है तो आपको भी अपना इन्वेस्टमेंट्स 5% एवरी ईयर बढ़ाते जाना है. एंड ऑल ऑफ यू, इफ यू आर सैलरीड एम्प्लॉइज, आपको हाइक होता ही रहेगा. तो यू शुड मेक श्योर दैट इस बार अगर आप 10,000 लगा रहे हैं हर महीना, नेक्स्ट ईयर से यू पुट 5% एक्स्ट्रा, मे बी 10,500 रुपीज. अगर आप ऐसे करते जाएंगे, और market as such, for example, if we take the Nifty large cap index, or for example Nifty 50 for example, then these asset classes tend to give about 12 to 13% every year. Okay, and if we include the dividend yield, it actually becomes higher, but for safety's sake we will keep the returns a little lower. Okay, so we will assume that growth rate of our portfolio will be approximately 12%. ये मैं बोल रहा हूँ very standard growth with just investing in Nifty and nothing else. Okay. तो अगर हम ऐसे SIP चालू करें आज, for example, if you're 30 years old, by the time you are 60 years old, then as you can see on the screen, the total amount of corpus that you will have when you are exactly 60 years old is somewhere around 5 crores 27 lakhs. And this is without sweating too much in the markets. इसका मतलब है without taking too much tension in the markets by getting into ultra short term trading, by trying to speculate आज क्या स्टॉक में होने वाला है, कल क्या स्टॉक में होने वाला है, कब शॉर्ट करूं, कब लॉन्ग करूं, स्टॉप लॉस कब लगाऊं, टेक प्रॉफिट कब लगाऊं, एंड सो ऑन. सो शॉर्ट टर्म में मार्केट स्पेकुलेट करना बहुत ही मुश्किल है, एंड आई वुड से इट इज क्लोज टू इम्पॉसिबल. ठीक है. तो एवेंचुअली अगर if any trader does ultra short term speculation for a prolonged period of time, maybe for 1 year, 2 years, and so on, it is very rare for a person to be profitable. Almost 99% of the cases mein you will undergo losses only, because it is not possible to speculate like that. Okay? But this is an easy way for you to achieve it. There is nothing much you have to do except set up a 10,000 rupees SIP. Now, this is with a 12% growth that we are able to see year on year. Now, what if we are able to find a portfolio, or we are able to find any fund that is available in the market which has consistently given 15% return, for example? तो उस situation में capital कितना बढ़ेगा? अगर if I ask this question generally, can you think as participants in this session, can you tell me for a 12% return you are able to generate about 5.2 crores of wealth, right? What kind of wealth would you be able to generate with a 15% rate of return? So usually most of the audience members will think, or you might have an assumption, कि 12 के लिए अगर 5.2 हो रहा है तो 15 के लिए शायद 5.8 होगा. But that is wrong in the markets. Okay. So even if you are able to increase your growth rate by a little bit, then your ultimate goal of generating wealth will start increasing exponentially. तो अभी देखते हैं कि 15% growth rate के लिए अपना capital कितना बढ़ेगा. तो as you can see on the screen, it has almost doubled. If instead of targeting 12%, if you are able to target 15% growth year on year, instead of 5.4 crores, the end corpus amount will be somewhere around 9.7 crores. So this is the exponential growth rate that is happening in the markets. So abhi, and for the same 10,000 rupees SIP, for the same 5% step up. Step up means every year I'm increasing my SIP amount by 5%. So abhi, same data, we'll try to see what happens for 17% growth rate. Why am I taking 17% growth rate? Because, for example, if I take Nifty next 50 fund, next 50 index, then since inception, उस इंडेक्स ने आज तक almost I think 17.2% CAGR देते हुए आया है, and plus there is dividend yield and other things, but we can keep it as less than that, approximately 17%. So if we keep the growth rate at 17%, same SIP step up, then the total corpus that we are able to accumulate becomes somewhere around 15 crores 13 lakhs, and this is when we are 60 years old. If you are 30 years old right now, if you are 25, it is an extremely advantageous position, क्योंकि आपका wealth इससे भी बहुत गुना, it will be quite a lot more than what you're seeing on the screen. If you can start this at a very young age, for example, something like 25. So this is how we are able to accumulate wealth in the long run. लेकिन there are certain things we have to keep in mind which become even more interesting now. So how much time does it take for us to accumulate our first 1 crore? तो ये 15 crores का जो बात कर रहा है, या बात कर रहे हैं हम, या 5.4 crores का बात कर रहे हैं, या 9.7 crores का बात कर रहे हैं, ये 30 years का स्पैन पे बात कर रहे हैं हम. लेकिन हमारा फर्स्ट crore अर्न करने के लिए what is the time duration that we are supposed to keep, and क्या उससे how much time does it take to build our second crore? तो ये भी हम इसी सेशन में अभी देखने वाले हैं. So now let us take a look at time to reach your first crore. Okay, so if you are starting at 10,000 rupees SIP, and if the growth rate is 12%, then it takes 18 years to reach your first crore. So this should not be something that you get demotivated by, because this is where the pain comes to build the first crore. After that, it becomes very, very easy, which we will be showing. So if you start a 10,000 rupees SIP at a 12% growth rate kind of portfolio, you will reach your goal at the 18th year of your first crore. Agar portfolio 15% pe grow ho raha hai, then you will reach it by your 16th year of starting your investment. If you start with a 17% kind of return portfolio, then it will take you 15 years to reach your goal. Okay. So now let us try to understand, for those of us who will be able to start with a 20,000 rupees SIP. For many of us, it might be possible. For many of us, it might not be possible. If we are motivated enough, it is definitely possible to do a 20,000 rupees SIP. So in such cases, how many years does it take? So with a 20,000 SIP at a growth rate of 12%, 14 years mein, you will be reaching your first crore. 15% growth rate pe, it will take you 13 years to reach your first goal. And with a growth rate of 17%, you will reach it within next 12 years. All right. Now, for all of us who are traders and come with a trading mindset, this might not seem lucrative. This will not seem something that we can wait out for. क्योंकि 12 years हो चाहे 15 years हो, हम लोग सोचते हैं as youngsters कि that is a very far off duration. I am not willing to wait till such a long time to accumulate my first crore, because I erroneously believe, or mistakenly I believe, that I will be able to achieve this in a very short term with extremely ultra high speculative trading kind of mechanism. It could be futures, it could be options, it could be leveraged option writing, it could be leveraged intraday trades, and so on. So keeping that aside, it is definitely possible for us to start it with a low amount or a very low SIP and still be able to achieve it. Whether we are able to do it in trading or not is immaterial. Let us keep that aside. You can allocate a separate capital for your trading requirements and a separate capital just for your SIP. If you are not able to achieve your goals in short-term speculation or in short-term trading, तो ये तो आपको देता ही रहेगा, तो और ये करने में ज्यादा आपको मुश्किल नहीं होगा या दिक्कत नहीं होगा. So this is something we will be able to focus on with confidence. तो अभी क्या करते हैं, आगे जाके ये समझते हैं कि how much time does it take to basically reach our first crore, second crore, third crore, and up until 10th crore. And we will try to see some very interesting data right now. So with a 10,000 rupees SIP, we had seen that to achieve our first 1 crore, it will take 16 years. Okay? Aaj se, it will take 16 years to reach our first crore. Lekin, the second crore, in order to achieve that, it will not again take 16 years. It will just take 4 years from there. So you can see the time gap here. Years taken to achieve the next crore. It will take 4 years gap to achieve the next crore, which will come when you are 20 years from today. So automatically your investment value will go above 2 crore rupees. Similarly, how about the next crore, the third crore? So if you wait just 3 years more after that, you will start your corpus will build to the third crore. Similarly, if you wait just 2 years after that, that is 25 years, your investment corpus will go to 4 crores. And now it becomes very interesting. Once you have passed this phase where you're investing a very nominal amount of 10,000 rupees and increasing by 5% every year, which is not a problem. 25th year from today, if you are 30 years old, for example, when you are 55, from then on, every year, your money starts working for you, which means every single year, your capital will grow by 1 crore. Which means by doing nothing, if the markets are growing at 15%, or if your portfolio is naturally growing at 15%, you are sitting and money is working for you by delivering a 1 crore return every year from then onwards. And it decreases more and more. So if you can see over here, from 4th crore to 5th crore, you will just have to wait from the year 25 to 26. From 26 to 27, the next crore will get generated. From 27 to 28, the next crore gets generated, and so on. So now, with a very small SIP, your money has started working for you brilliantly well. And even inflation adjusted, by the year or 25 years from today or 26 years from today at an inflation rate of 5% also, these kind of capital growth or the amount of capital that is coming into your account, it is still a very high growth rate that we will all be able to enjoy. Now, what if we are able to do this with 20,000 rupees? Same calculation, 20,000 rupees के साथ अगर 5% step up SIP करके जाएंगे, now it becomes very, very interesting. So to achieve your first crore is again a very big struggle. It is going to take you 13 years to achieve your first crore. After that, to achieve your second crore, you will have to wait till the 16th year or 3 years more than 13 years. To achieve your third crore, you'll have to wait for 3 more years. And to achieve your fourth crore, 1 more year, fifth crore, 2 more years. So by the time you, 22 years from today, your corpus would have built to more than 5 crore rupees. And now it becomes very interesting. Just 22 years later, for example, if you're 30 right now, when you are 52, you will start, or the capital appreciation will start happening at a very fast pace, where every year from then onwards, your capital will increase by 1 crore every year till you are 25 years old. So till you are 55. For example, if you're 30, till you are 55. Now, this is where it becomes interesting. Please pay attention to the screen. Here, 25 years from today, when we go back for the 10,000 rupees SIP, 25 years from today, your capital will start appreciating by 1 crore every year. But if you're able to do a 20,000 rupees SIP, 25 years from today, your capital will start growing by 2 crores every year. Now, from here to here, from the year 22 to the year 25, your capital will grow at approximately 1 crore every year. All right. Post which, you can see here 6 crores, 7 crores, and 8 crores. Post the 25th year, if the same growth rate portfolio is held on to, on the 26th year, your capital will appreciate from 8 crores to 10 crores. From 26th to 27th year, your capital will appreciate from 10 crores to 12 crores. From 27 to 28, 12 to 14. 28 to 29, 14 to 16. 29 to 30, 16 to 19, which means 3 crores appreciation. And if the same growth rate is held on to, maybe from the year 6, if you're, for example, 30 years old right now, when you're 60 plus, every year you can expect 3 crores of growth rate to happen in your portfolio every year. It is up to you whether you want to withdraw the capital. It is up to you whether you want the capital to continue. But that is the growth rate that you can actually target realistically with a normal portfolio, which is approximately growing at 15% and with an SIP amount of 20,000 rupees with a 5% step up. So this is how all of us should be targeting our financial freedom or our financial growth with a moderate mindset, not with extraordinary expectations out of the market, not by trying to assume that I have trades or I have short-term trades, which nobody else has, because I am the master at speculating short-term, price movements, and then try to leverage it and try to lose it in the short term. So if we try to do that, generally speaking, you can take a look at some data that is out there. An average trader loses his capital. If he starts ultra short-term trading, they lose their capital within the first 3 months. But an investor does not lose because he's staying invested in the markets for the long run. So as a mindset, even if you want to do short-term speculation, keep aside a capital for it if you believe that you're good at trading. But at the same point of time, if that doesn't work out, because chances are that it's not going to work out, then keep aside a set of 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees, whatever is affordable by you, with a certain goal in mind. Because if you are not, or even civil servants these days, or non-civil servants, those working in the private sector these days, we do not have the concept of a stable pension coming in. And even if you invest in NPS and so on, inflation adjusted, it becomes very difficult to predict what your NPS is actually going to achieve in the long run for you. It's a great investment, no doubt. NPS is also something you should consider. But if you want to build a corpus amount, and if you want to build it in a lump sum kind of format, then this might be a more feasible route for you to follow. Okay. So now with this said, and this thoroughly understood by all of us, let us now try to understand as to how we as investors can get started on something like this. And is there or are there portfolios available which have achieved these kind of returns, or are there any kind of instruments or investment vehicles available which we can utilize as retail investors? ठीक है, तो अभी जाके हम लोग डायरेक्टली प्लेटफॉर्म पे देखेंगे कि कौन कौन सा स्मॉल केस है और कौन सा स्मॉल केस कितना रिटर्न देते हुए आया है, एंड वी एज इन्वेस्टर्स हाउ कैन वी फिल्टर विच स्मॉल केस इज बेस्ट सूटेड फॉर आवर रिक्वायरमेंट। ठीक है, तो यही हम लोग अभी करने वाले हैं डायरेक्टली प्लेटफॉर्म पे जाके। तो पहले हमको आना है dhan.co पे। सो दिस इज द होम पेज ऑफ आवर ब्रोकर दैट इज धन, एंड यहाँ पे to check small cases. Small cases means what? They are direct equity portfolios, right? तो ये direct equity portfolios कहाँ पे हमको मिल रहा है is what we will try to understand now. तो पहले हमको प्रोडक्ट्स पे जाना है ऊपर, और प्रोडक्ट्स के नीचे हमको यहाँ पे स्मॉल केस ऑन धन बोल के दिख रहा है। तो पहले हमको स्मॉल केसेस ऑन धन पे क्लिक करना है, एंड यहाँ पे स्मॉल केस पेज ओपन्स अप। सो नाउ व्हेन वी स्क्रॉल डाउन, we will be able to notice a button called discover all small cases. तो पहले हमको we have to see all the portfolios available and then try to decide which one is best for us. तो पहले हमको discover all small cases पे क्लिक करना पड़ेगा, and then the list of all the small cases will become visible to you. So you can see things like all weather investing, equity and gold, dividend aristocrats, electric mobility, safe haven, and so on. So basically all these are direct equity portfolios, and they are something that you can invest in directly using your Dhan account. Okay, so there are no charges for investing in a small case. You will be paying the normal brokerage charges that you pay for delivery, but apart from that there will be no other charges. All right, so you can basically choose any portfolio of your choice, log in from your Dhan account and invest in that portfolio. तो अभी क्या करेंगे, पहले एक पोर्टफोलियो को लेके हम लोग देखेंगे कि इस पोर्टफोलियो को हम लोगों को समझना कैसा है। तो एक बार अगर हम एक पोर्टफोलियो को समझ लिया, तो हमने समझ लिया, तो उसके बाद कोई भी पोर्टफोलियो को देख के हम लोग समझ सकते हैं कि ये बास्केट कैसे क्यूरेट किया गया है। तो पहले नेम ऑफ द स्मॉल केस हर बार ऊपर यहां पे मेंशन किया जाता है, और इसके नीचे एक लाइन में मेंशन किया जाता है कि इस पोर्टफोलियो किसके बारे में है, हाउ हैज इट बीन डिजाइन्ड। उसके अलावा यहाँ पे नीचे आके ओवरव्यू सेक्शन में आपको एक डिटेल्ड ओवरव्यू मिल जाएगा कि इस पोर्टफोलियो को किस तरीके से क्यूरेट किया गया है, व्हाट इज द फिलॉसफी दैट हैज बीन यूज्ड टू डिजाइन दिस पर्टिकुलर बास्केट। ओके, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस थोड़ा सा अगर और भी नीचे स्क्रॉल डाउन करेंगे तो यहाँ पे आपको रिटर्न्स दिखना लगेगा, चालू हो जाएगा। तो यहाँ पे आपको दो ग्राफ दिखेगा, एक है ब्लू कलर ग्राफ और दूसरा वाला है ऑरेंजिश कलर ग्राफ। तो blue color graph is basically showing you this particular portfolio's performance, and yellow color graph is showing you its respective benchmark returns. तो यहाँ पे dividend aristocrats is more or less made up of large cap stocks. तो इस portfolio में comparison is being done with large cap index because it's a fair comparison to figure out whether this portfolio is doing good, not good, and so on. तो यहाँ पे we can see the year 2022 here, 2021, 2020, 2019, 2017, and so on. So these are the years that these portfolios have been live on. And if we take our mouse, and if you can take a look at the small box that is moving, you'll notice numbers inside it changing. और अगर मैं इसको पहले तक लेके जाऊंगा तो मुझे यहाँ पे दिख रहा है कि डिविडेंड अरिस्टोक्रेट्स 100 पे है, इक्विटी लार्ज कैप 100 पे है। तो अभी ये ग्राफ हमको क्या समझाने का कोशिश कर रहा है, इससे हम ये समझ सकते हैं कि अगर हमने 100 रुपीस लगाया था जब ये पोर्टफोलियो चालू हुआ प्लेटफॉर्म पे, इफ वी हैड इन्वेस्टेड 100 रुपीस बोथ इन दिस पोर्टफोलियो एंड द मार्केट थ्रू लार्ज कैप इंडेक्स, देन दैट 100 टुडे आफ्टर 6 years would have become 357 rupees in our dividend aristocrats portfolio and 224 rupees in the large cap index. तो इसका मतलब क्या है, डिविडेंड अरिस्टोक्रेट्स का वैल्यू 100 से 357 गया, इसका मतलब है 257% रिटर्न फॉर अस एज इन्वेस्टर्स। और लार्ज कैप इंडेक्स का अगर हम रिटर्न देखें तो 100 हैज बिकम 224 व्हिच मींस 124% रिटर्न। So market or large cap has given 124% return. Dividend aristocrats has given 257% return. Now, latest 5 years का अगर हम देखें तो हमको ये समझ में आ जाएगा, आज से 5 years पहले अगर हमने इन्वेस्टमेंट चालू किया था वही वाला 100, तो इक्विटी लार्ज कैप में मिलता 69% रिटर्न, डिविडेंड अरिस्टोक्रेट्स में मिलता 164% रिटर्न. तो सिमिलरली 3 years रिटर्न कैन बी सीन हियर, 1 year कैन बी सीन हियर, 1 month, SIP एंड सो ऑन. तो इसके अलावा हम लोग यहाँ पे स्टॉक्स एंड वेट्स पे क्लिक करके हम लोग देख सकते हैं कि इसमें इस पोर्टफोलियो में कितने स्टॉक्स हैं, ये पोर्टफोलियो रीबैलेंस कब होता है, लास्ट रीबैलेंस डेट, नेक्स्ट रीबैलेंस डेट, लार्ज कैप स्टॉक्स. और यहाँ पे आप लॉग इन करके ये भी चेक कर सकते हैं कि इस पोर्टफोलियो में कौन से सेट ऑफ स्टॉक्स एंड सेक्टर्स है. तो दिस वी हैड ऑलरेडी कवर्ड इन अ प्रीवियस सेशन. So if you want more understanding about that, if you want to understand how to invest in a basket, you can always go to the Dhan YouTube channel and type small cases, and you will be able to see a previous recording which we have done where we have shown you how to invest in a basket. तो इसके अलावा हम क्या समझ सकते हैं पोर्टफोलियो के बारे में? तो ये सब मैक्स रिटर्न है, 5 year रिटर्न है, 3 year रिटर्न है, लेकिन एवरेज रिटर्न ये पोर्टफोलियो क्या देते हुए आया है? तो लास्ट 6 years में we have seen bullish markets, which you can see here. We have seen flat markets, which we can see here, the latest 1 year. Then we have seen down markets, where the market itself fell down by 40% during March COVID 2020 crisis, if you remember. And then we can see a very normal uptick market over here. So अलग तरीके से markets already ये portfolio देख चुका है. For example, तो अभी हम देख सकते हैं कि on an average यहाँ पे कितना रिटर्न मिल चुका होगा every year for us. So some years it could decrease compared to this, some years it could increase. But CAGR का मतलब है compounded annual growth rate. It is giving us the average return. 6 years average return for this portfolio is somewhere around 22.54% every year. All right. So क्या हम हर साल यही एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं? नहीं. अगर मार्केट गिर जाएगा तो दिस पोर्टफोलियो ऑल्सो विल फॉल विद द मार्केट, क्योंकि उसके एज यू कैन सी राइट ओवर हियर, क्योंकि उसमें सिर्फ डायरेक्ट इक्विटी स्टॉक्स है. So it can fall with the market. जब मार्केट ऊपर जाएगा ये पोर्टफोलियो भी ऊपर जाएगा. So it is more or less correlated with the market, but it tries to achieve higher alphas or higher returns over a period of time. अभी similarly, if we go to discover and if we click on all small cases, अलग अलग तरीके के baskets अलग फिलॉसफी के साथ, अलग रिटर्न्स के साथ लिस्ट हो जाते हैं स्मॉल केस प्लेटफॉर्म पे, which you can access using your Dhan login. So for example, we can see something called rising rural demand here, जिसका 6 year CAGR है 15.6%. Similarly, if we head over to something like all weather investing, which is kind of a safer portfolio, यहाँ पे हमको दिख रहा है 11.21% रिटर्न. इक्विटी एंड गोल्ड में CAGR है 16% and so on. So इसके अलावा लेफ्ट साइड पे हमको इन्वेस्टमेंट स्ट्रेटेजीज भी दिखता है. तो इफ यू बिलीव इन फॉर एग्जांपल ग्रोथ बेस्ड स्ट्रेटेजी, देन यू कैन क्लिक ग्रोथ हियर एंड सिर्फ ग्रोथ बेस्ड स्ट्रेटेजीज यहाँ पे लिस्ट हो जाएंगे. सो यू कैन सी द नेकेड ट्रेडर पोर्टफोलियो trying to achieve or almost has achieved 8.93% CAGR in the last 6 years. Growth and income small case has achieved 19.5% CAGR in the last 6 years. So similarly, if we want something like a thematic portfolio, thematic click कर सकते हैं and thematic portfolios will be displayed here. So we can basically take any strategy which we want, do more research about it as a portfolio and start our investment journey directly using our Dhan account. तो इसके अलावा अगर आपको यहाँ पे मिनिमम टिकट साइजेस अलग अलग दिख रहे हैं और आपको चाहिए वो वाला पोर्टफोलियोस जो 5,000 रुपीज के टिकट साइज से कम स्टार्ट हो रहे हैं, देन इन्वेस्टमेंट अमाउंट के नीचे यू कैन क्लिक अंडर 5,000 rupees and you will see those portfolios which you can where you can start your investment journey with under 5,000 rupees. Similarly, under 25,000 का ऑप्शन है, अंडर 50,000 का ऑप्शन भी है. और इसके अलावा अगर आप रिसर्च करना चाहते हैं वो वाला पोर्टफोलियोस जो हाईएस्ट रिटर्न्स देते हुए आए हैं आज तक, देन यू कैन गो टू सॉर्ट बाय फीचर ओवर हियर. यहाँ पे आपको पॉपुलैरिटी बोल के दिख रहा है, यहाँ पे क्लिक कीजिए और नीचे ड्रॉप डाउन में रिटर्न्स आपको यहाँ पे दिख रहा है और रिटर्न्स के नीचे टाइम पीरियड है. तो लेटेस्ट 1 year में बेस्ट पोर्टफोलियोस इफ यू वांट टू सी, यू कैन क्लिक ऑन 1 year and you will see the best portfolios according to returns in the last 1 year. So transporting India में almost 30% का average return मिल रहा है from the last 1 year. Realty tracker mein 1 year returns is 26%, electric mobility is 25%. Similarly, if we click on 3-year returns, we can see that digital inclusion has 151% returns, transporting India 145, IT tracker 137, naked tracker 131. Similarly, if we click on 5-year returns, 5-year returns के हिसाब से जो भी बेस्ट परफॉर्मिंग पोर्टफोलियोस है वो यहाँ पे रिफ्लेक्ट हो जाते हैं. तो दिस इज हाउ वी एज इन्वेस्टर्स will be able to basically head over to the small case platform directly through the on the Dhan web page and directly take a look at all the baskets that have been listed, and we can choose the best basket that we feel is good as per our goals. We should not just look at the CAGR. We should look at how the portfolio has performed in bullish market conditions, in bearish market conditions. We should be prepared for the market turmoil. And since your investment horizon is the next 20 years, 30 years for your financial planning, zyada bhi you should not take a look at how the portfolio is performing in bad market conditions, kyunki in the long run, the market is always expected to go up. So keeping that in mind, you should try to see if वो market का portfolio या जो direct equity portfolio या small case बन चुका है, is that philosophy good for me or not good for me? Is the return comfortable for my requirement? Is the ticket size of the basket comfortable with my goals? So uske hisab se ek basket ko chunna hai, and we should stay true to that basket, and we should stay true to that investment. My personal advice, or not advice, my personal suggestion to you would be not to jump from basket to basket. I've seen a lot of investors doing this. Every time they try to find the best basket and try to jump from one basket to another basket. So instead of doing that, choose one basket which has a long history of track record of performance, and stay true to that basket in all market conditions. And that is how you approach the investing path itself. So with this said, I hope that all of you have a fair enough understanding of how to go about, building your long-term goals using small cases. I hope that you also understood how you as investors can start with a very small amount and you are able to build a very decent corpus which you otherwise would not have been possible. And with that said, a couple of other things to note. You do not have to open any new account to invest in a small case. You can just use your Dhan account, log in, and start investing directly. The stocks will directly come to your Dhan account itself. And whatever money needs to be debited, the money for the portfolio, that money will get debited from your trading account, and the stocks will be credited to your Demat account. And jo bhi dividends, extra dividends pay hote jayenge, that will come directly to your bank account. So with that said, there is no more reason to wait. I want all of you to go and explore small cases available on the Dhan platform. If you want to directly go to the small case page, you can also go to the link that has been shown to you right now, smallcases.dhan.co. So if you go over there on your browser, you'll be able to notice these portfolios directly. So I'm happy to take any questions that the audience members have for me today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to post it in the Q&A box, and I'll be able to answer these questions for you. So the first question is 10K SIP per month or per year? Per month. So 10,000 per year, if you're investing, then it doesn't become an SIP kind of plan. So in 10 years, you would have invested 1 lakh, right? Every year, if you're investing 10,000 rupees. And in 20 years, you would have invested just 2 lakhs. And you're expecting a corpus to be built at around what 3 crores, 4 crores and things like that. So Rahul, what I'm talking about is 10,000 per month as the SIP. So now, can you explain step up of 5% again? So step up of 5% means you are increasing your SIP amount by 5% every year. Okay. So for example, if you start investing 10,000 rupees this one particular year, then next year you're increasing your investment by 5% again. So 10,000 is your SIP amount for this year. Next year, you're starting with a 10,500 rupees SIP. The year after that, you're starting with 11,000 rupees SIP. So that is how you step up your SIP continuously. This is to make sure that at least inflation wise, or at least your salary hike wise, you are increasing your investments. If you don't do your step up, or if you don't increase your SIP amount continuously every year by at least 5%, then your returns start decreasing drastically. When I buy a small case, then what do I see in my Demat? So you will see the set of stocks coming directly to your Demat account. So when you log in and see your holding statement, you will see the set of stocks that are a part of that particular portfolio coming into your Demat account directly. So we are also starting to build a feature where small case will start holding as a separate holding statement. But as of now, it is still in the works. It is still in a thought process. But going forward, we expect it to be implemented where small case also will be reflected in a separate holding statement. So can I suggest any particular small case portfolio? No. So I'm not allowed to suggest any small case basket, and small case basket should be a very personal thing that you should select depending on your own requirements. What is good for me will not be good for you, and vice versa. And there are so many people who are attending this session. What is good for all of us will not be good for the next person, because one person might be very aggressive in his expectations. He might be willing to go through a market drawdown also, but he would want the markets or the portfolio to perform very well when the market goes up. High risk, high return bulate hain isko. So some people might be very comfortable with high risk, high return because their horizon is 30 years of investing. Some of us, even if we have a 20, 30-year-old vision to invest, we will not be comfortable with a high risk, high reward because it is not in our nature to be comfortable with that. So when the markets start falling, we might tend to panic and we will tend to exit if we don't have the right mindset for it. So because of that, I will not be recommending any one particular basket. You should go and check the baskets by yourself, and you should pick the one that is matching your mindset or your temperament bolte hain usko. So whatever is matching your temperament in the market, us basket ko aapko choose karna padega. And keep in mind, that will be a very personal investment that you have to hold on to for a very long period of time. The dividends from the stocks holding through small case, the dividends will be passed on directly to your bank account. So holding a stock is no different from holding a small case. Small case is nothing but a basket of stocks. तो जो भी आपको dividends आने वाले हैं, वो dividends आपको directly, let us say you are holding a small case which has 10 stocks, for example. Whenever these 10 stocks are giving dividends, it will come to your bank account directly. So 10 times in a year, if all of these stocks give dividends collectively, 10 times आपको dividends bank account पे आ जाएगा. There is no difference between that and a direct equity investment. Can we modify a small case? Yes, Hitendra, it is possible to modify a small case. Whenever you start your investment journey, small case is a product which is completely customizable. So आप पे complete control होता है. You have complete control over that basket. If you invest today, and let us say 15 stocks come to your portfolio. Now, for some reason, you don't like one or two stocks and you want to remove it. Is it possible? 100%. So you just have to go to dhan.co, log into your Dhan account. You will or you can go to smallcase.com and log in through your Dhan account. Then under investments, you will notice your portfolio. I think that we have covered this in the previous session. You can go back and refer to that video once. जहां पे आप अपने इन्वेस्टमेंट पे क्लिक कर सकते हैं एंड आपको एक मॉडिफाई बोल के एक बटन दिखेगा. तो उस मॉडिफाई बटन को आपको क्लिक करके आप एक स्टॉक को माइनस दबा के रिमूव कर सकते हैं या प्लस दबा के उसका क्वांटिटी ज्यादा भी कर सकते हैं. तो पूरा कंट्रोल आप ही के पास रहता है व्हेन यू इन्वेस्ट इन अ स्मॉल केस. So Akshay, you have a question. Do I have to invest the initial amount on a recurring basis every year in my chosen basket of small case? No. The initial investment amount, or what we call as the minimum investment amount, एक ही बार हमको करना है. उसके बाद the SIP amount is usually less. In many cases, the SIP amount will be as much as the minimum ticket size, but in most cases it will be less. ठीक है? So if a portfolio starts with a ticket size of 30,000 rupees, chances are that the SIP amount starts with 8,000 rupees. Okay. So that is something that you can continue. The SIP is something you can set on the Dhan platform. On our previous video, we have covered how to set up your SIP. So एक बार आप SIP करके छोड़ सकते हैं. Next year, again, you don't have to invest the minimum ticket size. You can continue with the 8,000 rupees SIP. So I hope that that is clear. So there are many themed investments here which are chargeable, like the Can Slim strategy, and some more even on Dhan. So, and some are free. Why so? So there are two types of baskets available. One are fee-based baskets, and one set of baskets are free baskets. So free baskets have been given to you, or for example, let us take the case of dividend aristocrats. So now free baskets exist on the platform so that investors who are not, or who are averse to wanting to pay fees and who want to try investing in a basket first, can avail a free basket. So there are free baskets also which have given 21% CAGR, 22% CAGR and so on. So ultimately, अगर आपको एक philosophy अच्छा लग रहा है, and that philosophy is available in a free version, you can go for the free version. If it's available in a paid version, and if you're comfortable paying that nominal fee, then you can go for the fee-based small case. So both options are available. Both small cases actually give more or less, in a sense, premium portfolios might give a slightly more return. They might be slightly more stable, but not to the degree that you will really have to worry about it. So there are free small cases also which perform really, really well. So you can go and explore that too, Hitesh. So the next question from Hitesh is how to exit the small case in an emergency. Great question. The small case, when you invest in a small case, this is your small case. You have complete ownership over it. This is not like other products in the market where you get locked into a portfolio. There is no small case on the platform which has a lock-in period attached to it. ठीक है? तो अगर आपको मान लीजिए आप 5 साल से इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हुए आए हैं, लेकिन आज आपको उस इन्वेस्टमेंट किसी चीज से और किसी वजह से निकालना पड़ेगा. You should not be doing that ideally, but अगर आपको निकालना पड़ेगा, very simple, it will not take you more than a minute. Okay, so go to the small case platform, same, go to investments, वहां पे आपका अपना पोर्टफोलियो दिख रहा होगा, click on the small case, राइट साइड पे आपको एक एग्जिट स्मॉल केस बोल के एक ऑप्शन दिखाई देगा. एग्जिट स्मॉल केस क्लिक कीजिए, कंफर्म कीजिए, एंड द एंटायर स्मॉल केस विल गेट exited out. You'll be able to exit out of the entire small case. एंड जो आपको उसके वजह से जो आपको फंड्स रिलीज होना है वो T+1 में आपको रिलीज हो जाएगा. एंड दैट्स अबाउट इट. देयर इज, इट्स लाइक सेलिंग अ स्टॉक. देयर इज नो डिफरेंस बिटवीन सेलिंग वन स्टॉक और सेलिंग अ स्मॉल केस. सो दैट्स हाउ यू कैन एक्सिट इट. देयर आर नो लॉक इन पीरियड. सो इफ यू स्टार्ट योर इन्वेस्टमेंट टुडे, you can exit out of the investment today itself. So it is that user friendly. I hope that I answered your question, Hitesh. So Sanjay has a question. What are the cost details? Sanjay, I think I covered this. I think by a question asked by somebody else on the forum. So there are free small cases available, which I would want you to first explore. So free small cases mein there are no charges. What you can do is basically start your journey and just pay the transaction charges which you generally pay when you buy a stock. So for example, if delivery is being charged at, for example, I'm giving you an example as 10 rupees or 20 rupees per order, that's all that you're going to pay. And apart from that, whatever statutory charges are there, which are government led charges, which you will pay even during the time of stock transaction, utna hi padega aapko. So apart from that, nothing. Think of this as buying stocks, nothing else. All right, buying a basket of stocks. Charges jo agar aap directly platform pe jaake you will buy stocks will be the same as buying a small case. There are no additional charges levied. So next question is a good question. If I want to increase my SIP by X% every year as a top up on my existing SIP, do I need to delete the current SIP schedule and redo with new SIP amount? Yes. So अगर आपको अपना SIP बढ़ाना है, तो अगर आपने SIP चालू कर लिया, you can refer to this in the previous video that we have made. वहां पे आपको SIP के बगल में आपको edit SIP बोल के एक ऑप्शन दिख रहा होगा. तो edit SIP पे क्लिक कीजिए. वहां पे आपको 3 ऑप्शन मिल जाएगा. एक, edit the SIP date. Second, edit the SIP frequency. You can change from monthly to weekly, weekly to quarterly. कुछ भी आप कर सकते हैं वहां पे. तीसरा वाला है SIP amount. So वहां पे SIP amount में आपको SIP 5% ज्यादा या 10% ज्यादा आपके हिसाब से जो भी आगे बढ़ाना है वो आप वहां पे बढ़ा के you can click on save SIP. At that point of time, the SIP will get changed. It will take you not more than a minute to do this. I hope I answered your question. So the next question is, in a small case portfolio investment, should we limit to invest the minimum investment amount mentioned on it? No, Kishore. इसीलिए हम उसको बोलते हैं या बुलाते हैं minimum investment amount, minimum. So that is the minimum ticket size that you should start with, but that is not a limitation. आपको जो भी amount invest करना है आप आराम से कर सकते हैं. For example, if the minimum ticket size of a portfolio is 46,000 rupees, you can invest 50,000 rupees, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000. 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, आपको जो भी अमाउंट चाहिए आप कर सकते हैं, लेकिन मिनिमम टिकट साइज या फर्स्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट होना चाहिए दैट 46,000 रुपीज. उसके बाद एसआईपी अमाउंट भी शायद कम हो जाएगा, आप डायरेक्टली प्लेटफॉर्म पे देख सकते हैं जाके. मे बी एसआईपी अमाउंट विल डिक्रीज टू 8,000 और मे बी 10,000, 15,000. इट विल वेरी फ्रॉम पोर्टफोलियो टू पोर्टफोलियो, बट इट विल बी समवेयर अराउंड दैट. सो दैट इज समथिंग दैट यू कैन एक्सप्लोर. The next question is, can this top up amount be automated or do we have to do it manually? So what do you mean by top up amount? Do you mean the step up SIP? Could you rephrase that question and please post it? So what are the charges charged by small case while investing through the Dhan app? I think I clarified on this, Kishore. Basically it is free. So please brief about the tax implications on dividends. Great question. So no, I'll not talk about just the tax implication on dividends. Let us talk about how taxes on small cases work. So small case में rebalancing होता रहता है portfolio का. So let us say a portfolio has 10 stocks. एक साल में मान लीजिए 2 stocks philosophy के साथ बैठ नहीं रहे हैं या philosophy के साथ मैच नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो उन दोनों स्टॉक्स को हमको पोर्टफोलियो से रिमूव करके उसके जगह में और भी 2 स्टॉक्स डालना है, राइट? सो if you want to do that, then, or when the rebalance is sent out to you to do that, then those 2 stocks which are removed within 1 year, उसके लिए अगर कैपिटल गेन्स हुआ है तो उसके लिए तब शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन्स आपको पे करना पड़ेगा if they are in profit. For the remaining 8 stocks, long term capital gains पे चला जाएगा because it will get transferred to the next year. If no stocks are reshuffled, पूरा portfolio long term capital gains पे जाएगा. If 50% of the portfolio, for example, is shuffled, then within 1 year, then those 50% of stocks will fall under short-term capital gains tax, and the remaining will fall on long-term capital gains tax whenever it is sold. So dividends again falls as per your tax slab. So that's about it. I hope I answered your question. So the next question is, what if I have already bought some holding in a stock? And the same if I bought through small case, how do I identify them separately? Good question, Sanjay. As of now, if you directly go to the Dhan account and if you directly try to see the holding statement, वहां पे आपको combined में ही दिखेगा. लेकिन अगर आप small case पे आके देखेंगे on the platform directly, तो यहाँ पे आपको whatever you purchase through a small case, it will be listed separately. To understand this better, you have to refer to the previous video that we have made on the Dhan platform. So go over there, refer to that video. You will get a clear idea of how to do it. But we are, like I said, we are working on something where आगे जाके small case also should start reflecting as a separate holding in Dhan. As of now, there is no timeline for it, but it is a thought in progress, a work in progress. So when that happens, small case will start getting reflected as a separate holding on the Dhan platform. I hope that
I'll just update here, Pranam. So actually, on Dhan, you can already see your small case holdings in your portfolio separately. So in the portfolio itself, it is marked separately.
Sure. So Sanjay, in that case, if you make your small case investment, you can head over to the platform, and like Shraddha has mentioned, you should be able to see it as a separate holding there directly. All right. I hope that is clear. So that should avoid any sort of minor confusion that you might have during your investment. So the next question is, how do I access these videos? So these videos will actually be streamed, are being streamed on YouTube. So you can always come back to the platform, come back to YouTube and take a look at it. So you can always refer to it, this video anytime in the future. You're welcome, Hitesh. So step up SIP. Okay, let me just, can the top up amount be automated or do we have to do it manually? And this is with regard to the step up SIP. Yes. So In case of a step-up SIP, you will have to do it manually every year, क्योंकि हमको नहीं पता होता है as a platform whether you want to do a 5% step up, whether you want to do a 10% step up, whether you want to do a 15% step up. हमको ये पता नहीं होता है. So because of that, you have to modify it accordingly, and we will not be modifying it for you or on your behalf. So every year, if you want, at the end of the year, if you want to increase your step up amount, go to the platform directly. वहां पे एडिट एसआईपी का एक ऑप्शन आपको मिलेगा. प्लीज क्लिक ऑन एडिट एसआईपी एंड देन चेंज योर वैल्यू ओवर देयर. So the next question is also more or less similar. So I think that has been answered. Yes, you're welcome. So with that said, I think we have covered all the questions. Thanks a lot, everyone, for taking your time out, coming over to this session, and participating actively. And going forward, I do hope that all of you will have a phenomenal experience investing in small cases. And Dhan is also a very seamless platform via which you'll be able to start your journey. And with that said, have a happy weekend, and thanks a lot for tuning in. Over to you, Shraddha.
Thank you so much, Pranav. And thank you everyone for being a great audience. I think we've had the best set of questions to answer for you. So if you still have any doubts, please head over to our community, which is at community.dhan.co. And if you have any other requests, we will keep on doing more of these webinars for you to help you get better at investing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pranav.